Hello everyone, welcome to the Man Channel. I'm Garrett Brown, and this channel is going to be about paint and body, hunting, fishing, and a Gen 4 LS swap into an OBS Chevy that I'm going to call Project Trash Truck. I'll tell you a little bit about the donor vehicle later on in the video, but for now, I'm going to give you a walk around and tell you a little bit about it. It's a 1988 C1500. I've had it for 16 years. It's been sitting out in the pasture for the last 3 years. I do already have the drivetrain set in it. I'm using solid motor mounts. I like solid motor mounts personally. That's just me. Using a rubber trans mount. The stock cross member does work. Stock cross member. It fits. You do have to slide it back and drill some holes. I still need to slot the holes a little bit because I don't know if you can tell or not. It is out of adjustment. I would like for this to be centered. So in order for that to happen, I'll slot these holes a little bit on both sides. You can see where the factory trans mount is whenever it had a 700 R4. Same thing over here. This thing's had a couple different transmissions in it at one time. It's had a 700 R4 transmission with a small block 350. Then it had a turbo 400 in it. And then now it has the 6L90. Stock shift linkage. This thing had broke at one time. I just welded it back together. I will be getting a new one. But all this does work. Reverse, neutral, drive, and so forth. Stock manifolds for now. This thing does hang pretty low, but everything clears. I am using ICTBILLET swap adapters, plates. I am using the 1988 fan shrub, radiator from the donor vehicle. I did have to modify the core support a little bit. That's no big deal. It is going to have AC. I live in Oklahoma. It's way too hot in Oklahoma to not have AC. I'm going to be using the high and tight AC compressor kit from Quick Performance. I didn't want to have to notch the frame. I did try to use the donor vehicle's fan shroud, but it does not fit without some cutting on the bottom of the fan shroud because of the way that the frame rail's set up in these trucks. I don't know which coolant reservoir I'm going to use yet. Right now I just have this one hooked up I just have water in it. I have already painted the firewall black. The rest of the engine bay will be black. Wheel liners, inner fenders, core support. This truck will have a full complete paint job, so everything will be getting taken back apart in order to do it. Taking the fenders off, doors off. I'll probably even cut the glass out of it. I don't know what color I'm gonna go with yet. I don't know if it's gonna be a solid color or a two-tone. But if you continue watching the channel, you'll see the transformation. I'll show you the insides. Power windows, power locks, luxury for 88. I have already removed the ECM. I'm not going to go real in depth on it. Headliner, I'm going to redo the headliner. I may make a video on it. I'm undecided. I do have all the trim for the inside. This truck has been painted a couple of different times. It was green at one time, blue, and then red. The final paint job on it was a Dodge color, Inferno red, with the silver stripe. That's about half inch in width. That ran all the way down this body line, all the way to the front, all the way to the back. I have already stripped the paint, or a majority of it. I razor bladed most of it off. I don't know what kind of wheels I'm going to use yet. I'll either keep the stock rallies or do 454 SS wheels. Roll pan. Billet grill. I have already mounted the fuel tank. Kind of. I have to finish mounting it once I get the bed off of it. But this is the rear dual tank out of the donor vehicle. Fill hole. I will put a trap door on this. I am going to make it where everything works. I'll go more in depth on it later on. Trailer hitch. The trailer hitch is actually off a F-150. I had to narrow it down and cut the brackets off, as you can tell. I have to finish mounting it. I did have to cut out a bed brace in order for the fuel tank to fit. No big deal. Passenger side. It does have Vic Assassin bars that's been on there for a while. I'll clean those up. Overall, it's a pretty straight truck. Inside, driver's side. Overall, it's a pretty straight truck. It's not super beat up. There is starting to be a little bit of rust down in the bottom of the cab corners. Or not cab corners, but rockers. May not be able to see it. Oh, there's a piece right there. Starting to bubble a little bit. I'll fix it. But not off to a bad start for Project Trash Truck. Onto the donor vehicle. It's a 2009 GMC 3500. This is a LY6, which has square port heads on it from the factory. It doesn't have DOD. It does have VVT, mechanical fan. And the transmission is a 6L90E. It does have a TCM. I am incorporating the Hydro Boost setup from the 2009 GMC 3500. 3 of the 4 mounting holes do line up. I'll give you a glimpse. I'll make a separate video on this, as I'm not done with it yet, and I still have brake lines to flare. I did delete the rear, or the ABS. No one likes ABS. E38 ECM. This truck is drive-by-wire. Fuse block. I'm incorporating the factory harness. I do already have most of this done under here. That's X5 connector. X4. X3. That's for the fuel pump wire. X2 connector. That goes to the ECM. I am also incorporating the body control module. Part number 259-719-16. There's the drive-by-wire pedal. I'm incorporating the body control module so I can have cruise control. It all communicates through GMLAN, plus and minus. I'm also incorporating the IP fuse block from the donor vehicle. I already have some of it wired. I will do separate videos on the body control module and this IP fuse block. HVAC module. I may incorporate it. There are some other things you need to know about this in order to make this work. It's more to it than just running power to it. I haven't decided if I'm going to use the factory controls to send a request to this to turn on the AC and mount this in the glove compartment, or if I'm just going to mount this in the dash and do away with the factory controls. Undecided. A lot of people ground a certain pin on the ECM for the AC to work, or you can use a trinary switch. I may go that route. I'm undecided. But I kind of want it to work like how it came from the factory, since I have all the OEM schematics from All Data, which is what I'm using. Some people use Mitchell 1 or GM, if you can get your hands on them. Everything on the steering column does work, along with the shift linkage. No issues there. I'm unsure about the cruise control. I have read that the donor vehicle uses different ohms or resistance than this switch, so I may end up possibly switching in the column to the 09. I have to measure it to make sure. I did relocate the washer reservoir. You gotta have washer fluid and wipers on a daily. I'll show you these parts. Auto headlights. I think I'm gonna incorporate this. I think it'd be pretty cool. I haven't decided if I'm gonna use this switch or use the factory switch to make it work. I will do a separate video on this. Gauge cluster. I may incorporate this. I think it'd be pretty cool to have something from 09 and 88. Leave some comments. Tell me what you think. Steering column. Cruise control. I may just take this loose and mount it in the truck and do away with the other switch on the factory column. Manual shift. Tow mode. I'm undecided what I want to do here. I do have the key. I still have to measure this to see if it'll actually fit or if it's going to take mods to do. This will be a separate video. I will be using HP tuners to delete all the VATs and do any tuning that's required. I'll show you the HP tuners. It's HP tuners MPVI3. So if you continue following this channel, you'll see the transformation. You may learn a little bit of something along with me. Hopefully this will help anybody out who's wanting to utilize the factory harness with the BCM and the IP fuse block. Stay tuned.